wasn't really sure on how to share this information, which is very close to my heart. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Omaya Hafza, and this is my story. I grew up in a Christian and religious family. I have been living here at MSU since my grandmother worked at one of the big colleges. From preschool until 3rd grade, I was with that one friend whom I named Ameline. Ami was very cheerful, social, and friendly, while I was her opposite, gloomy, unsocial, and distant. I know you don't believe, but yes, that was me. I don't really remember on how we went from acquaintances to best friends. Maybe because we're neighbors, or because her father was my grandfather's friend and a friend from church, or perhaps because opposite really attracts. What do you think? Memories hold so much emotion, just as my loyalty to her as best friend remains. And as time went by, I encountered new challenges, hardships, trials, met new people, and created new memories, which is when I lost her. We parted ways without giving a proper goodbye. The guilty part is that 2 days before she and her mother left, her mother asked me to come to their house one last time. And as a child, I tend to play a lot, and that's where I forgot. I came home quickly, knocked on their door, screaming her name, and guess what? Nobody was home. That's where I learned that when we know we are at fault, don't blame someone else, and not feeling guilty about it doesn't make it any less wrong. It's very important to know your fault, own them, and reflect on them. Now I will end this speech with a quote I want to share to all of you. Every sunset is a proof that everything has its ending. But also remember how the sunrise gave us a new beginning. Once again, I'm Omaya Hafza, and that is my story, me and my special friend.
Would you agree with the idea of forgive and forget? Before I give my viewpoint, let me tell you a backstory. I once had a friend whom I trust the most. She's like a sister to me. In fact, we're like this. We share an unbreakable bond. We know everything about each other. You know, like those little secrets. However, one thing I did not know is she is capable of stabbing me in the back. I never knew she could be the person who could hurt me for her personal gain. I was dumbfounded when I knew about it. She even told our other friend she doesn't care about what will I feel, and she's not sorry for it. I was so furious. I was deeply hurt. Months after months, I learned to forgive her. Why? Simply because I chose to forgive her. You can always choose to forgive. as forgiveness is the process of letting go of resentment, anger, and the desire of retribution toward that someone who caused you harm. In fact, it includes a conscious decision to release those negative feelings. But we must always remember that forgiveness doesn't really necessarily mean that we will forget or excusing the wrongdoing. So always choose to forgive, because forgiveness isn't just a gift we give to other people. It is a gift we give to ourselves. It frees our heart. And so once we freeze our heart, we have hope in ourselves. So choose to forgive, for in that choice lies the path of healing. Maraming salamat po.
Assalamualaikum and good afternoon to each and everyone. Today, I want to talk about something deeply personal, sisters. We all have sisters by blood and by heart. But for now, let's talk about sisters by blood. You know, whether you have one or more, a sister is always someone who shares your life in ways that no one else can. She knows your best and your worst. Growing up together can create a connection that is full of shared memories, of laughters, struggles, and everything in between. You know, it's not that always perfect, but that's what makes the bond really powerful. A sister is often our first best friend, right? They know your secrets and your dreams, and yet loves you just the same. There are times you will argue, and in times where life may pull you in different directions. But even when you fight, you know deep down here that you are never alone. In moments of heartaches or joy, she is the one who understands. Often without needing words, challenge each other, lift each other up, and remind you that no matter what happens, she is always there. The truth is, a sisters is not just a family. They are part of who you are. They even teaches you what love really means. That is, to stand with someone who will be there at always, also to forgive and to always come back to each other. The bond between sisters is always a safe place, a constant, and a love that endures. Because in a world that's always changing, having a sister means having someone who will walk through life with you forever. And to sum this up, there's this quote where Tony Gonzaga said, "You can fight with everyone, but you can never fight with your sisters." She is your safe place and always your safe place. Remember that. That would be all. Thank you.
Bili ko kape. Kahit saan. Paano ako pagkakaisa?
Pananaw ng karamihan na walang pagkakaisa kung may pagkakaiba, maparelihiyon man o paniniwala sa kultura at tradisyon. Ngunit paano kung ang pagkakaiba ay nasa loob mismo ng tahanan? Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Ako si Eliza de la Peña Hava, nagmula sa tribong Cebuano, 1/8 Ilonggo at isang Balik Islam. Lumaki ako sa lugar na ang dominante ay tribong Maranao. Natutong magsalita ng kanilang wika at nasaksihan ang ilan sa kanilang paniniwala, kultura at tradisyon. Hindi naging madali para sa katulad kong Balik Islam ang pagtahak sa daan na ito. Base sa ilang karanasan, maraming pangungutya, pangmamaliit at diskriminasyon na naranasan naming mga Balik Islam mula sa ilang Maranao. Na kahit pa daw mga Balik Islam ay magbalot at magsuot ng ilang kasuotang Muslim, ay mananatili kaming Kristiyano sa kanilang paningin. Masakit kung ito'y aking iisipin, ngunit pinili kong wag itong damdamin. Dahil hindi naman ang mga taong ito ang kailangan kong kumbinsihin. At hindi rin ang mga taong ito ang aking sasambahin, kundi ang Allah, ang mahabagin at maawain. Hindi ko rin sinasabi na masama ang mga Maranao, dahil kumpara sa ayaw, mas marami silang mga nagmahal at tumanggap sa akin. Sa katunayan, ilan sa aking mga kaibigang Maranao ang nagbigay ng kasuotan katulad na lamang ng hijab at abaya na aking suot-suot ngayon. Noong niyakap ko ang Islam, akala ko ay hindi ito matatanggap ng aking pamilya. Ngunit mali. Dahil sa katunayan, dito ko napatunayan na hindi hadlang ang pagkakaiba upang makamit ang pagkakaisa. Tuwing sasapit ang Ramadan at tuwing ako ay uuwi sa aming probinsya, ang aking butihing ina at kapatid ang naghahanda ng aking makakain. Ang aking butihing ina ang gumigising sa akin tuwing umaga upang magdasal ng Fajr, sabay sabing, "Lay, nagbang na, pagsambayang na." Masya Allah. At dahil nga hindi ko mapagsabay ang pag-aaral ng Western Education at Arabic, ay minabuti kong ilaan ang bakanting oras sa pamamagitan ng pananaliksik ng kaalaman, sa panonood at pakikinig sa YouTube at pag-follow ng ilang ulama. Kuya ko ang bumili ng aking unang abaya at ang aking mga magulang ang nag-ipon pambili ng aking unang mukna para sa aking unang Eid. Masya Allah. Para sa mga kapwa ko Balik Islam, alam ko na hindi tayo pare-pareho ng mga pinagdadaanan. Ngunit nananalig ako na anumang pagsubok na ating kakaharapin para sa ating kinabukasan ay atin itong malalampasan sa tulong ng ating butihing may kapal. Ang aking karanasan ay ilan lamang sa mga naging karanasan ng libo-libong Balik Islam sa buong mundo. Ngunit naniniwala ako na sa pamamagitan ng pagkakaunawaan, pagmamahal, respeto at pagtanggap ay makakamit natin ang tinatawag na tunay na kapayapaan. Pahalagahan natin ang ating pagkakatulad at igalang ang ating pagkakaiba. Muli, ako si Eliza de la Peña Hava na nag-iiwan ng katagang hindi ang ating pagkakaiba ang dahilan ng hindi natin pagkakaunawaan, kundi ang makasariling pananaw na ating pinapairal dahilan upang tayo ay mawatak at masira ang ating samahan. Maraming salamat.
Iyak mo pa ako, alam mo naman ako iyak mo. Kaya next, tagalin mo yung ID mo ka ako.
Imagine this. You're standing on stage, singing your heart out. And if it feels like everything is almost perfect until one day it doesn't. Hello everyone, my name is Omar, and I want to take you on a journey. One that starts with music, falls into silence, and when renewed passion finds its way back. I've always had a deep connection with music. Since I was 5 years old, I have already started singing. Music was more than just a hobby. It was my identity, my escape, my way of expressing emotions when words fell short. My father used to tell me, "Liwat jud ka sa imong inahan, abtik mo kanta. You were just like your mother, a great singer." Unfortunately, my mother passed away when I was 3, leaving me without any memories of her. I can't even picture what she looked like, nor recall what her voice sounded like. From then, I joined the church's music team. I performed on stage, and for a very long time, it was as if music and I were inseparable. Until one day, something happened. I joined at a local amateur singing contest, and confidently, I qualified for the grand finals. As the song was about to reach the climax, I went for a high note that I used to hit perfectly so many times before. But it didn't come out the way I expected it. If you don't, if you won't, my voice cracked right there in front of the audience, the judges, everyone. It felt like my world was shattered. I was so devastated, and I lost all confidence in that instant. From that moment on, I stopped singing. For years, I couldn't bring myself to face that fear again. I thought to myself, I was a failure. Fast forward during the pandemic, I realized something. My love for music has never really faded. My voice had started to change, but it doesn't mean that I was no longer a singer. Yes, maybe puberty changed my voice. Maybe puberty changed the range of my voice, but it doesn't mean that I can no longer sing. From then, I started experimenting ways, trying different genres, different styles, and different ranges. And I found out that I can still sing. Now, look at me. I championed several categories of the university musical competitions. I gave the college a sweepstake back-to-back win. And I even became a judge and a trainer myself, all because I did not give up on my passion and my dreams. What I've learned through this journey is that sometimes we must let go of the idea of who we were to embrace of who we are becoming. So I want to share with you guys that to everyone who felt like they've lost their way, always remember that it's okay to grow. It's okay to change and to flourish into something new. Because sometimes the passion that you thought you've lost is just simply waiting for you to rediscover it in a different form. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon.
Have you ever felt scared of thinking that one day you might lose your mother? Yes, that's always what I felt, but I accept that it's beyond my control. My mother is a Wonder Woman. She is an educator, businesswoman, and a mother of 7 children. She is a typical traditional woman, a very strict one, but a loving person. She always corrects us when we commit mistakes and guides us to be in the right path. One time in my childhood days, I and my sister were playing badminton in our house, and she told us not to go outside. And guess what? Of course, we go outside and play with our neighbor. And unfortunately, I accidentally hit my neighbor in the face. And she started crying. As soon as my mother heard the news, she pinched us really hard and punished us to do some laundry things. And that's the time I started to hate her. Whenever my relatives ask me who I love the most, my father or my mother, I always chose my father because he is very sweet and always gives what I want, while my mother is very strict and always correcting us. So I didn't mind if she heard my answer that time. I didn't know how it hurts for a mother to hear that. Mothers are fragile when it comes to their children, and we often don't know that. As I grew up, I slowly began to understand it. I saw her sacrifices to us, working tirelessly just to fulfill her responsibilities and provide for our needs. She became my best friend, my best advisor to my studies. Thinking about just losing her makes me miserable, and I can't imagine my life without her. Our mothers deserve our respect and love. So to everyone out there, love our mother to the fullest while they are here with us. And that's all. Thank you. Assalamualaikum. I am Nur Aini Rakib. Today, I want to talk about a passion that touched countless hearts and inspired countless minds: photography. Photography is not just about taking photos. It's about freezing time, preserving memories. It's art. I am a photographer myself, and as a photographer, I have the privilege to see a breathtaking landscape and to capture candid moments of life events of strangers, and I love to share them with the public. It's not about technicalities or whatever, but it's about the journey of learning new things, the discovery that you discover through the photography. So, through photography, I learned to know many things that I find a pleasure to take photos. You can see the beauty in the ordinary. You can see the extraordinary in the everyday life. So for me, this is not just about photography, it's art. It's about expressing yourself. It's a way to express yourself, and it's a way of life. So if you're looking to express yourself, if you're looking to do something truly meaningful, I encourage you to grab a camera and take photos. Because pictures have a story, and yours is waiting to be told. Assalamualaikum, I am Naraini Raki.
Go next. Go next. Matans kayo next. Ano sa'yo?
7 pa man.
8 na to. 8 na, promise.
Ladies and gentlemen, has it ever crossed your minds what friendship really is? Are your friends just random individuals that you share your secrets with or interact with in your daily life? If you did wonder about that, well, I did too. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my story. I am Wisam S. Datumulok, an only child, a 21-year-old only child. Growing up, it has become natural for me to envy siblingship. I have come to realize that every aspect of my life, I have different and unique circumstances because of the fact that I don't have any sibling figure at all. But I found myself, as I became a young man, I found myself treating my friends as such. It has not been easy for me. My friends or my parents would always think that I have been giving myself away too much for them. Well, at some point, that may be true. We do give ourselves away for someone. But you know what I really believe in? Is that they are worth it. As I stepped into my college life, these random individuals from different locations, different cultures have unexpectedly became my sanctuary. And the fact that I will always be there for them, they'd also do the same thing for me. It's literally the song that goes like, through good times and bad times, I'll be by your side forevermore, 'cause that's what friends are for. Looks like. But forging these types of friendships is not always easy at all. You will meet betrayal, disappointment, and even growing out of that type of friendship. But that's all right. It's normal. It's common. At some point of our life, we have to grow out of certain types of connection. That only means maturity. Knowing the fact that they will not be there for you forever, and they are destined to be just people you cross paths with in your life, means maturity. And that does not mean that your connection with them is not genuine at all. In fact, what you're experiencing with them is real. It is genuine. That is why, ladies and gentlemen, forging these types of friendship or connections is not a piece of a cake. But knowing that they won't be there for you forever is actually a drive for you to make the best out of every moment you have with them. It's literally a rocky road, but seeing the end of a tunnel is what matters. And caring for them as much as you care for yourself is a regulation you will need when dealing with these individuals. Because at the end of the day, we cannot deny, they will be the people that will be with you throughout your journey in achieving something great. That is why, ladies and gentlemen, #cherish your friends. Thank you.
Good afternoon to each and everyone. I am Juhairiya Hajikasan. Have you ever felt like standing at the edge of a cliff, looking down at a dream you desperately wanted to reach? But then fear whispers you can't do it. And then that's the reason why you held back? That's how I used to feel. I was paralyzed by doubt, convinced that I wasn't good enough, that I would fail. But then I remember something powerful. It's not about being perfect. It's about believing in yourself. Even when the path seems uncertain. It's about choosing to see the incredible potential that lies within each of us. Think about it. What could you achieve if you truly believed in yourself? What could you accomplish if you let go of doubt? I remember when I was in my high school years, I dreamed of studying here in Mindanao State University main campus. And I once doubt myself. I overthink my future. And if I didn't choose to believe in myself, I wouldn't be here standing and speaking in front of you. And that's the power of belief. It's like a magnet attracting the things that we desire into our lives. If we don't believe we can't do something, we probably won't try it. And if we believe we can, we'll find a way to make it happen. So when you hear that voice of doubt, that whispering in your ears, remember this. You are capable of amazing things. You have the power to overcome challenges, to learn from your mistakes, and to overcome it. Because at the end of the day, failure doesn't define us. What defines us is how we respond to it, how we rise after we fall. How we rise after we fall. Thank you.
What were or who do you consider close to your heart? Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Junaira Amirol Panantaon, and there are many things I cherish, but one of the most important is myself. Now you might think that I sound selfish, especially in a world where empathy and sympathy are highly valued. But let's pause for a moment. Does caring for ourselves really negate our ability to empathize with others? Every day, we wake up with goals. Whether it's cleaning our home, studying, talking to a friend, organizing a project, solving a personal issue, or simply taking time to rest. Yet,
life often throws us curveballs. Some days, we wake up feeling tired and unproductive and we choose to stay home. Other times, our plans fall apart when our friends face emergencies so they have to cancel on us, or when someone asks for a favor just as we're about to take a break. There are also times that when we try to solve our problems, it just gets messier. These situations can be draining, especially when it becomes a routine. Personally, I find myself reflecting, okay lang yan, self? It's out of your control. Or, may next time pa naman, self, pwede pang bumawi. I even glorify the circumstances just to comfort myself. That's when I realize that the person who is always there for me is myself. I am the one who experiences my struggles and consoles myself. I appreciate my courage to reach out to friends when I need to vent. I honor my resilience in facing each new day, even after a tough one. I celebrate my determination to keep moving forward and strive for better. Recognizing and valuing ourselves is not an act of selfishness, ladies and gentlemen. It's an expression of sympathy and empathy. Every quality we wish to see in others must be first integrated within ourselves. Appreciating self is a step toward personal growth. Therefore, let us beat the notion that self-love is selfish. I am not selfish for holding myself close to my heart, and neither are you. By nurturing ourselves, we unlock the true potential to uplift and empower others, creating a ripple effect of compassion that transforms our world. We must embrace ourselves, for in doing so, we become beacon of empathy and strength for those around us. Thank you.